Although at the bottom, they look like the start of another universe. The deeper we go, the more mysterious they get. From massive creatures
My goodness.
to animals that look prehistoric, it seems the ocean is really hiding some dark secrets. And today's video will show you how little we truly know about our deep waters. While exploring the eerie depths of the Mariana Trench, an ROV camera picked up something terrifying. A giant shadow moved across the screen, and for a moment, it became clear. This wasn't a normal shark. The creature measured an estimated 60 feet in length, far bigger than any known species that can survive at such crushing depths. Scientists ruled out the usual suspects, like six-gill or Greenland sharks. That left one chilling possibility. Could this be a surviving megalodon, hidden where light and logic can't reach? Down here, anything is possible.
My goodness.
Where's my phone?
While the submarine crew was exploring the deep sea, they spotted something that left them stunned. A massive shark swimming silently past their vessel. It was bigger than the sub itself and had a calm, terrifying presence, like something straight out of prehistoric times. The crew believed it was just a juvenile, maybe a year old. But if that's true, then how big could the adult version be? Some started whispering about the megalodon, whether it really was or not. The footage sparked serious debate, but one thing's for sure. Whatever it was, it reminded us who really rules the deep.
Nice positioning.
Divers exploring a deep stretch of ocean filmed something that shook even the bravest among them. A massive creature with a long neck and body eerily similar to the ancient plesiosaur glided past, slow and too real to dismiss. One diver tried to warn the others, but the current muffled his voice. Then the creature got too close, and the footage cuts right there, and nobody knows what happened next. People online swear it was authentic, proof these beasts still exist, hiding in the dark. But if they're still around, maybe we were never really on top of the food chain to begin with. Titan's Battle. In 2023, footage emerged of a sperm whale swimming with the severed remains of a giant squid in its jaws. A massive tentacle still clung to its body, proof the squid didn't go down easy. These two titans of the deep had battled far below the surface, unseen by human eyes. Until now. This wasn't just rare. It was raw, a glimpse into a world where giants clash and the rules of nature bend. The whale won this round. But for something to fight that hard, what else might be lurking even deeper, still undefeated? Ghost Current. In 2020, a new grainy, deep-sea video popped up that got everyone talking again. It showed this pale, bulky figure with weird black eyes swimming past a remote camera. The clip, filmed at night, fit perfectly with the decades of rumors about the Ningen. Some folks think it could be an undiscovered marine mammal, while others believe it's all part of a government cover-up. Too strange and too human to explain. Sightings always happen at night. The creature vanishes without a trace, and the footage is never clear. Still, people all over Japan and the internet are convinced there's something out there, making a real effort to stay hidden. Silent Watcher. Back in 1998, off the icy coast of Antarctica, crews from Japanese whale research ships spotted something huge, pale, and oddly human-shaped, lurking just under the surface. These creatures, known as ningen, are said to be completely white and massive, 20 to 30 meters long. Eyewitnesses aboard government whale research vessels describe them as eerily human-shaped, with arms, legs, and even 5 fingered hands. Others reported mermaid-like tails or tentacles. One crew mistook a shape for a submarine, only to realize it was alive. The creature vanished. No solid evidence has surfaced, and most images just look like ice, unless, of course, you're willing to look closer. String-limbed. It's not CGI or edited. In 2007, deep in the Gulf of Mexico, a Shell-operated ROV recorded something drifting slowly through the dark. It had elbowed limbs, elbowed with arms dangling like strings, each stretching over 20 feet. What they saw was a Magnapina squid, also called the big fin. Scientists barely know anything about it. Maybe 5 confirmed sightings ever. No one's sure how it hunts, where it lives, or how many exist. It just showed up, hanging there like it belonged in space. Honestly, if that is real, then what else are we just now catching glimpses of? Fire colony.
Oh my god! Wow! Damn!
At first, they thought it was just a sock drifting by or some strange sea balloon, about 8 meters long, floating and glowing in the water. But when the divers got up close, they realized it wasn't a worm or even one creature. It turned out to be a pyrosome, a living colony made up of thousands of tiny animals, all fused together in this pulsating tube. They're pretty harmless, but recently, something is happening. They're multiplying like crazy. The waters from Oregon to Alaska are getting totally clogged with these things. Scientists have no idea why their numbers are skyrocketing, or what it all means for the future. Triton blink. In the deep, dark ocean, a robot camera was quietly filming the water. Then something long, serpent-like slid past the lens, massive and shadowy. Moments later, 2 glowing lights flared in the distance. The camera's flash turned on, lighting up the scene. For just a moment, a huge creature came into view. It looked like Triton, the sea god from old myths, but just as quickly as it showed up, the mysterious beast disappeared back into the darkness, like it knew it was being watched and didn't want to be seen. That's the part no one can shake, that whatever it was, it didn't want to be caught on camera. Jurassic shadow. Out near an oil rig, something massive slipped past the cameras just under the surface. The footage showed a dark, hulking shape cruising beneath the structure, big enough to cast its own ripple trail. Workers later said it looked like a mosasaurus, one of those prehistoric sea reptiles with jaws wide enough to swallow a shark. The internet lit up with theories. Some called it CGI, others swore it was authentic. Experts, quiet. But if something that size still swims our oceans undetected, that's not just a glitch in the system. That's something surviving from a time long before us, and maybe it never left. Sleep standing. A diver gliding through the Indian Ocean spotted something strange. Sperm whales frozen in place, all standing upright just below the surface. At first, it looked unnatural, almost ritualistic, but this wasn't a warning or a gathering. It was nap time. Turns out, sperm whales sleep vertically, suspended like massive pillars in the sea. The discovery confirmed that these giants do this all over the world, but they only sleep for about 7% of their lives, less than any known mammal. Even in sleep, they remain alert, quiet, and vertical, like statues in the deep. Massive snake. A 26-foot anaconda, longer than a school bus, was found slithering through the Amazon River. It was thick, heavy, and estimated to weigh over 440 pounds. and that's just a guess. It could have been bigger. Even the wildlife experts were stunned. The footage shows something ancient looking, like it didn't belong in this time. But just weeks later, reports claimed the snake had been hunted down. Strangely, around the same time, a shocking video surfaced from Portugal showing a snake even larger, swallowing an entire anaconda whole. If these giants are still out there, how many more are hiding in the world's darkest waters? Crimson Ghost. Off Japan's west coast, divers got lucky, very lucky. Drifting through the water in front of them was a giant squid, over 2.5 meters long, arms waving like slow-motion blades. Not a carcass. It was alive. Most people only hear about these things washing up, already gone. But to see one alive, moving, and aware? That's something else. Its huge eyes seemed to follow the divers as it swam past, like it knew it wasn't supposed to be seen. In folklore, these creatures were monsters, but in science, they are mysteries. Seal Stalker.
Ever been in the water with a leopard seal? I'm suddenly seeing the shape, and it's coming closer, and it's coming closer.
While exploring the icy waters of Antarctica, a diver captured an unforgettable underwater moment. As she focused on filming a sea anemone, something massive suddenly drifted across her camera's view, an enormous 13-foot female leopard seal. At first, the animal vanished, but soon it returned, curiously circling the diver and even inspecting her camera up close, rolling its head as if admiring its reflection. For nearly 20 minutes, the leopard seal followed her every move, never showing aggression, just pure, wild curiosity.
And it's right then when I became absolutely in love with leopard seals, with their power, their intelligence, and grace.
Red Devil.
It's actually God damn me, this
Marine life experts were deep diving, exploring the deep blue, when suddenly they came face to face with this massive Humboldt squid. At first, the squid seemed pretty relaxed, but turns out it's a real predator. Good thing the diver had a safety buddy nearby, because this creature could seriously hurt someone with its siphon and smokescreen. These creatures can grow up to 7 feet long and weigh as much as 110 pounds. It was definitely one of the most incredible and a bit bizarre creatures they'd ever laid eyes on. Truly a sea monster of the deep.
absolutely amazing. That really is a sea monster.
Tail below. In October 2007, off the coast of Australia, a diver filmed something that still hasn't been explained. While moving through deep water, his camera caught a glimpse of a large creature with a humanoid upper body and a fish-like tail, exactly like the old stories. It didn't swim off like a fish or thrash like a mammal. It moved with intention. The footage is murky, sure, but that almost makes it worse. We never got a clear look at its face, and maybe that's for the best. If mermaids really are out there, then maybe they've stayed hidden for a reason. Frozen Touch. While exploring the icy shallows beneath Antarctica, divers captured one of nature's most mind-blowing phenomena, an underwater icicle slowly growing downward, freezing everything it touched. Starfish, sea urchins, even fish were frozen in place, unable to escape. This haunting structure is known as a brinacle, or icicle of death. It forms when salt is pushed out of sea ice, creating super cold, ultra salty brine. That brine sinks and freezes seawater on contact, growing a fatal ice finger that drifts downward. It may look calm and silent, but beneath the ice, winter has a terrifying way of hunting in slow motion. Cage caught. Near Guadalupe Island, a diver had a heart-stopping moment underwater. While calmly observing marine life from inside a protective cage, a massive great white shark suddenly appeared. It circled the cage, displaying its raw power and size. The diver instinctively backed into a corner, unsure of what was coming next. Out of nowhere, the shark lunged toward the cage, trying to force its way inside. Fortunately, a metal ladder blocked its path just in time. The diver, though shaken, was unharmed. The crew quickly pulled him up, ending a close encounter with one of the ocean's most feared predators. Sunken lines.
Somebody built it there, and sea levels rose enough that it got submerged.
They went looking for wrecks in the Bermuda Triangle. What they found looked more like ruins. 500 feet below, divers came across giant limestone slabs with perfect cuts and right angles. Even experts were baffled whether these were man-made or natural. Thousands of miles away, off Japan's coast, another site stirs the same questions. Massive stone terraces rise from the seafloor near Yonaguni. Some believe they're the remains of Yamatai, a mysterious ancient kingdom ruled by a sorceress queen. Scientists say these could just be natural breaks from quakes. But if that's true, why don't we see more like them? Maybe these aren't ruins.
The theory is that Yamatai sank due to the shifting tectonic plates in the region.
Omen below. Off the coast of Taiwan, divers found a creature locals call a warning from the sea, the oarfish. It hovered upright, its silver body torn with holes, possibly from a desperate escape. Its round eyes bulged, and it didn't flee when touched. Ancient beliefs say oarfish appear before disasters like tsunamis or quakes. Science hasn't confirmed that, but they do live thousands of feet down, only rising when something disturbs them. What pushed this one up? A predator? Or pressure building far beneath the ocean floor? Share your thoughts down below. Smoke tower.
Awesome! All right, guys, I was worth the wait. Yes!
Way down in the deep, where sunlight never reaches, scientists found something wild. A black smoker. It's not a machine. It's a natural tower, shooting out super hot, black-colored water from deep inside the earth. It looked like a weird chimney mixed with a beehive.
Looks like a little beehive up there, huh?
It does, doesn't it?
It is a beehive.
And around it, there were strange creatures everywhere. Worms with no eyes, crab-like animals living in boiling toxic water like it's no big deal. This whole place was running without sunlight, only on heat, metal, and chemicals. These vents were only discovered in the late 70s. And the weirdest part? These creepy little ecosystems have been down there the whole time.
Get the shot and then come on up.
Got it.
Let's get a look at where that tether is.
Abyss Walker. In September 2024, a deep-sea lander recorded a Magnapina squid 3,300 meters down in the waters of Tonga Trench. It drifted slowly past the camera, its long, elbowed limbs filling the frame like ribbons in slow motion. Scientists were stunned. With fewer than a dozen sightings on record, this alien-looking squid remains almost completely unknown. Some grow beyond 8 meters and are believed to live as deep as 6,000 meters, making them the deepest dwelling squid on Earth. It doesn't move like anything we understand. It doesn't even seem real, but it is. And it keeps showing up in deeper, darker places every time. Silken nursery. It looked like a giant, drifting balloon, almost beautiful, until they got closer. In 2019, just 17 meters below the surface off Norway's coast, 2 divers stumbled across something that didn't belong. A transparent, swirling orb the size of a small car, pulsing softly in the water. Inside, Hundreds of thousands of squid embryos, all tightly packed, wriggling slightly. It was an egg sac belonging to a 10-armed squid, a rarely seen deep-sea predator. The divers had been exploring a sunken Wubblewoot 2 wreck nearby, but this was far stranger than any war relic. Experts still don't know how often these sacs drift close to shore, or how many hatch. Shifting Phantom. "3,700 feet deep in the Indian Ocean, a remote camera picked up something crazy. At first, it just appeared as a soft blob floating around, but then it transformed. Its body twisted into a sleek shape with long tentacles, kind of like a jellyfish playing dress-up. Scientists were baffled. The fact that it could change shape and had lights suggested some crazy advanced mimicry or defense tactics that nobody had ever seen before. It didn't look like any known species. Some folks think it might be a siphonophore, while others believe it's a completely new life form that hides by confusing anyone who comes across it. Down there, survival definitely doesn't look like what you'd expect. Deadpool.
So there's a dead amphibod. That's what we mean by the jacuzzi of despair.
They call it the hot tub of despair, and honestly, the name doesn't even do it justice. It sits over 3,000 feet deep in the Gulf of Mexico. Just a quiet, cloudy pool at the bottom of the sea. But the second anything enters it, it's gone. Instantly.
They don't like to be in this fluid. Or maybe they just come here to die.
This strange underwater pond is filled with a fatal mix of methane, hydrogen sulfide, and ultra-salty brine, 4 times saltier than seawater. Most creatures can't survive it. Researchers discovered it in 2015. The banks were lined with preserved corpses. It doesn't boil, but it cooks in silence. Some say it's natural. Others think it's something left behind. Maybe even sealed for a reason.
That's awesome.
There's a pickled crab.
Velvet Predator. So there's this thing. Almost no one's seen it alive, but it's very real. Off the coast of California, 3,200 feet below the surface, a research sub caught something sliding through the black water like a ghost in slow motion. It had a glowing orange dome and long, silky mouth arms drifting behind it like scarves. Scientists call it the giant phantom jellyfish, one of the largest jellyfish on Earth. Its arms? Over 30 feet long. And it doesn't sting. It grabs. Pulls prey straight into its pulsing core. It's only been spotted a handful of times since 1899. So, what else is down there we don't see? Shallow giant. They weren't supposed to find something that big, especially not there. A remotely operated vehicle cruising the Mediterranean seabed picked up something strange. The skeletal remains of a creature stretching nearly 100 feet long, and it wasn't deep down in some abyss. It was in shallow water. No known marine species of that size is supposed to be anywhere near that depth. Since then, scientists have been bickering. Some say it's a prehistoric dinosaur that somehow ended up preserved down there. Others, they believe it's something else, maybe a deep-sea monster that's still alive. Weapon below. At 526 meters deep, NOAA scientists were filming an old sunken submarine in 2006 when something strange happened. They were exploring the depths when they spotted this, a fish with a spear lodged in its belly. Then, just as the camera zoomed in, a massive tail slid across the screen. Some slowed the footage down and claimed they saw a figure, humanoid, like a mermaid. No known sea creature uses tools like that. Netizens were convinced it was hunting. Scientists, silent. But if this thing is real, then we're not the only ones with spears. Light trap. Lurking 1,500 meters below the surface, where sunlight has never reached, lives a bizarre little monster, Lasiognathus denema, a newly discovered anglerfish with a face only deep-sea nightmares could love. This predator doesn't chase, its head glows. The light draws curious fish straight into its mouth before they even realize what hit them. It's evolution's cruelest bait and switch, and it works. No swimming, no effort. Just sit in darkness and let dinner come to you. For prey in the deep glowing lights don't mean safety, they mean game over. The grouper. In 2018, divers off the coast stumbled upon something massive, an Atlantic Goliath grouper. It wasn't aggressive, just curious, but its open mouth was big enough to make a person disappear. The footage was brief, but enough to remind us that even in the shallows, the ocean holds giants. These fish can grow over 800 pounds and measure more than 7 feet. They're not hunters of humans, but their presence alone is intimidating. One blink, and you'd miss the slow rise of this underwater tank silently gliding right past you. It's time for today's open discussion. In 2013, a NOAA-operated sub was filming marine life when something struck the craft. Hard. At first, it seemed like just a collision, but slow-motion playback revealed something unsettling. A pale, humanoid hand smacked the glass, just one frame. Then it vanished into the darkness. The crew couldn't explain it. Experts claimed it was just debris or an illusion, but those on board said otherwise. Something was watching them. Something aware. If mermaids are folklore, then what exactly tried to make contact from 3,000 feet under? And what happens if next time it doesn't miss? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.